morning everyone, this is Parveen. Today we are on the second session of class 8 civics chapter 3, our parliament. In our last session we have seen that democracy or a democratic country or any democracy or a system of democracy can be of two types. In a democratic country or a country who follows democracy can be follow two different types of democratic government. One is presidential form of government and another one is parliamentary form of government. In our last session we have seen that presidential form of government, like in America where president is having an higher authority and there is a presidential election. And when we talk about parliamentary form of government, in a parliamentary form of government, parliament is having a main authority. Parliament is having an authority to make laws or to run the country, and there is a parliamentary election like India. And we have also seen that why India needs parliamentary form of government. Because when we compare presidential form of government and parliamentary form of government, we can see that parliamentary form of government is more effective because it gives opportunity to people to elect members of the parliament, and these members of the parliament by mutual cooperation take decisions. But when we talk about presidential form of government, there is a power in one hand, that is president, and he took decision by himself, or he or she take decisions by themselves. They don't take advices of others. So over here, anytime they can misuse their power. But when we talk about parliamentary form of government, misusing the power is not there because there are different members in the parliament and they combine together, take decisions. So in our first session, we have seen that India follows parliamentary form of government. Now when we talk about India, we have seen that India follows federalism. We are having federalism in India. That means in India, our government, we have a different levels of government, that is legislature, executive and judiciary. Now when we talk about legislature, legislature means parliament who make laws in country, who decides policies and plans for our country, who make programs for our country, who make laws for our country. So in today's session, we are going to learn about the parliament. We will see that what is parliament and what are the two different houses of the parliament in India and about the details about them. So over here you can see that I have made a flow chart in which the parliament, over here you can see that the parliament has two different houses. Or you can say that Indian parliament has divided between two different houses, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is called as House of the People, which is the lower house of the parliament, and Rajya Sabha is also called as Council of States, which is the upper house of the parliament. Now, as we all know that Prime Minister is the head of the Lok Sabha. Okay, you can say that Prime Minister is the head of the parliament or head of the Lok Sabha, most probably. So over here, first we will start with the Lok Sabha, the first house of the parliament, which is also called as House of the People, because when we are having in general elections after every 5 years, in those general elections, we vote for different representatives, different candidates, and because of our majority voting, that candidate wins the election and directly that particular candidate goes to the Lok Sabha and becomes the member of the Lok Sabha. That is why Lok Sabha is called as House of the People, and it is also called as lower house of the parliament. Now we will see what is the composition of the Lok Sabha, what is the term, what should be the qualification, all these things. That means we are going to see the detailed information about Lok Sabha. First we will start with the composition of Lok Sabha. That means how many members are there in Lok Sabha. According to our Indian constitution, members of the parliament, either it is Lok Sabha or either it is Rajya Sabha, it is fixed. Okay, so according to Indian constitution, Lok Sabha has maximum 552 members can be there. Maximum 552 members can be there in Lok Sabha, from which 530 members are elected from different states through elections, through votings, and 20 members from union territories, same from elections. That means Lok Sabha members come from state and union territories through elections and through voting system. 530 members elected from different states and 20 members elected from different union territories which we have. And for elections, or you can say at present now, as we have seen that maximum 552 members are allowed, but at present there are only 543 members in Lok Sabha, and in that 543 members, you can say that 543 members are there, from which 541 members are elected by state and union territories, and 2 are nominated from Anglo-Indian community. So you can say that in Lok Sabha, 552 members are maximum members, in which 550 members are elected from different states and union territories, and 2 members can be elected by president from Anglo-Indian community. Understand? So this is all about the composition of Lok Sabha. Okay, and when elections were there, each state and union territories has been divided into different constituency, and in these different constituencies elections has been held, so that members can be elected through majority of votes. Okay, next one, qualification. If anyone wants to be a member of the Lok Sabha, or if anyone wants to contest in the elections of Lok Sabha, that particular person should have certain qualification. Okay, so what is the qualification of Lok Sabha? The person must be citizen of India, which is very compulsory. If he or she is not citizen of India, they don't have a right to vote and they don't have right to contest an election. The person must be must completed the age of 25 years. That means if any person is less than 25 years, he or she cannot contest in Lok Sabha's election. He or she not hold any government office. That means he or she should not have any government job. If they are having any government job, or if they wanted to contest an election, they need to resign from their job. Next one, mentally sound. That person should be mentally sound and stable, and it should not, the person is not to be an electoral process. Electoral process means that person should not be in the election commission, or any, that person should not have a part in any electoral process or election process. Then that member cannot be contested election. So this is all about the qualification of Lok Sabha. Now I hope you have understood composition and qualification of Lok Sabha. Now moving on further, election procedure of Lok Sabha. As I have told you, 552 maximum members can be there in Lok Sabha, from which 550 members are elected from union and state and union territories, and 2 members can be elected, can be nominated from by president, which are from Anglo-Indian community. Now when we talk about the election procedure, each union and state is divided into different constituencies. You can say over here, and each constituency has its one representative who contests an election, and there is a general election after every 5 years in which people vote for these representatives. Okay, and out of many representatives, only one can win the election, and that person can become the member of the Lok Sabha. And there is a rule of universal adult franchise in when we talk about the elections. After completing the age of 18 years, each and every citizen of India has a right to vote. One person, one vote right is there. So after this, what is the term of the members of the Lok Sabha? As we all know that general elections can be conducted after every 5 years. That means after every 5 years, new members will be elected for Lok Sabha. So over here you can say that the term of elections, or the term of members of the Lok Sabha is 5 years. Okay, but if some problem is there, government can dissolve, and when government dissolved, automatically Lok Sabha also get dissolved even before 5 years. Presiding officers. There are 2 presiding officers in Lok Sabha. One is speaker and another one is deputy speaker. Now when we say speaker and deputy speaker, these are the person who are the members of the Lok Sabha, and by the voting system, members of the Lok Sabha from themselves elect the speaker and deputy speaker of the Lok Sabha. And speaker is a presiding officer in Lok Sabha. He conducts all the meetings, he controls all the meetings in the Lok Sabha. Now this is all about the Lok Sabha. I hope you have understood what is Lok Sabha. Now moving on further, the second house of the parliament is Rajya Sabha, which is also called as Council of States and Upper House. Now why it is called as Council of States? It is called as Council of States because the members who are there in Rajya Sabha comes from the state legislative assemblies. Okay, when we vote for the when we have in state elections, state level elections, we elect the members who goes to, after winning, they goes to legislative assemblies in each state, and from that legislative assemblies of each state, members of the Rajya Sabha has been elected through special electoral provisions. So that is why it is also called as Council of States. Now when we talk about composition of Rajya Sabha, there is 245 seats in Rajya Sabha, from which 233 comes from state and union territories, and 12 members are nominated by President. These 12 members must have a special skill, or must have some special skill or their expertise in their field, like any doctor, lawyers, scientists. From them, President of India elect 12 members or nominate 12 members for Rajya Sabha. And what are the qualifications of Rajya Sabha? Same as Lok Sabha, only the difference is in the age. He or she must be citizen of India, but like we have seen that in Lok Sabha, the person should have completed the age of 25 years, but over here in Rajya Sabha, the person should complete the age of 30 years. So, and that person should not hold any government office. The person should be mentally sound and stable, and the person should have his or her name in the voters list. Okay, this is the qualification of Rajya Sabha. Now when we talk about the election procedure, as I have told you, Rajya Sabha, like Lok Sabha, is having a direct election. People directly vote for the members of the Lok Sabha. But for Rajya Sabha, the people of or citizens of India indirectly elect the members of the Rajya Sabha, because members are elected by the legislative assemblies of states. From each state, there is a legislative assembly, and when the elections were there for the legislative assembly, we vote for the people, and the members who are there in legislative assembly, those members, the same members, through an special election procedure or special electoral procedure, those members have been elected for the Rajya Sabha. So indirectly, they have elected by the people only. Okay, and union members are elected by special provision, and 12 members are nominated by President. And what is the term of the Rajya Sabha? As Lok Sabha is a temporary body, because after every 5-year members, the total members have been changed. But Rajya Sabha is a permanent body, because its members, its 1/3 of members have retired after every 2 years. And after every 2 years, 1/3 of new members have been come. Baki वैसे ही रहते हैं. So every member has 6 years term. Okay. And who are the presiding officers of the Rajya Sabha? Vice President of India automatically becomes the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay, who is the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha, and deputy chairman is elected by or elected amongst themselves. So over here it is all about, this is all about the Indian Parliament, which has 2 houses. First one is Lok Sabha, which is the lower house of the Parliament, and second one is the Rajya Sabha, which is the upper house of the Parliament. And we have seen that what is the composition of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, what is the term and tenure, and who are the presiding officers of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. I hope you have understood whatever I have taught you. Next session we are going to learn about the president. We are going to learn about the functions of the president. Till then, thank you.